I seem to be stuck inside a giant gobstopper. Oh no! Oh no! It's so big, it's eating me. What a betrayal. What a betrayal! Usually you eat the gobstoppers. This one ate me. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I just. Cat made this area, and I'm like, it's a giant gobstopper. That's what it is. It's. What am I supposed to say about it besides that? Besides, psychedelic, man. Oh. So, it's been a little bit since we've been outside. Because, we always seem to be doing stuff down in the tech areas. And I needed some sunshine. I need some sun. So here I am outside. And then I saw that Cat had built this, and I'm just, that's too perfect. I mean, it's supposed to be like a decoration as you're walking down the tunnel. Or the bridge now. Essentially what she's done is... Whoa. That was extremely loud. I don't know if that was loud for you guys, but that was loud for me. Because if you haven't noticed by, a somewhat change in my audio, I have a new headset, and that is still actually really loud. Yeah, I got a new headset, actually, just today. So, it's pretty cool. I like it. And it seems to do pretty good. So you guys were going to have... sentences. You guys are going to have to let me know what you think about the audio quality. Is the volume good? Too much background noise? Is it picking up other stuff? I don't know. I mean, I can hear my computer fan, but can you? It's pretty darn faint. Anyway, so this is what Kat's been up to for the past week. She's been making this huge thing. It goes up to the house up there, and it's basically the original tunnel that we had from the Nether portal wrapped all the way around. Now, why she chose to wrap it all the way around, I don't know, but she did anyway. And she went and chiseled and bitted all these little poles and just never underestimate her dedication to tedious tasks. It's ridiculous. I would just melt my brain doing this over and over again, but I don't know, she seems to do it just fine. But anyway, so it's left us with this perfect little enclosed area, and I figured what better to put in here than a structure, and what better structure than name Atrium. Aha! I remembered the name! Yay! With the mod update came new bees. We now have the Rocky Bee. Now, the Rocky Bee can be bred to produce hardened, dirty, slimy, and they themselves produce rocky combs, which can be used to produce andesite, granite, and diorite, as well as stone dust, which can be used to make CF powder. Oh, alright. But basically, you can breed them into hardened, which then, produce rocky combs again, but you can also then get obsidian. And okay, all of them seem to produce the rocky comb, but then they'll produce, that guy produces obsidian. You get lapis, redstone, metallic, lead, prismarine, go through blue slimy, produces slime. It added so many different bees that you can breed all by using rocky as the start. Well, they spawn, apparently, underground, which is not where I went. I went to the end, which apparently is also where they spawn, and they stand out like a sore thumb because they're surrounded by overworld ore blocks, like iron ore and coal ore, which against endstone is pretty noticeable. So I figure we need an apiary, and did I pick up those sticks, or is it just a massive lag spike? Yeah. Yeah, I think I picked them up. I just didn't notice it, because I'm picking up the sand just fine. So basically, I figured, you know, since I tore out the whole bee production over there by the solar panel, I've been wanting to set it back up in a more official capacity. And I figure what better way than a little atrium, a little biodome, just for the bees. Just for the bees. And I want to get into the rocky stuff. So if we finish clearing this out of sand, which really takes no time at all, I have myself a circle of, I think it's 21? Yeah, 21. So it is an odd number, so we do have a central post. And it's going to partially go down. Oh, I was just trying to point, but alright, I guess we'll dig a little bit as well. Yeah, so we're going to go down a few blocks, and it's going to be rather reminiscent of the atrium that I had on the Azuminati server. If you guys have been watching me since then, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you have been, I built an atrium as part of my house. Now, I really liked that atrium. It looked awesome, but at the same time, it had no practical function. It was pure decoration. This will be both. This will hopefully look good, and it will function because we'll keep the bees in here, and you know, away from the stingies of everyone else. I mean, I myself have the apiarist's armor on my dark armor, so bees don't sting me anymore. But I know Cat doesn't have that, and not everyone who visits the base has that, and you don't really want to be walking around and all of a sudden, bees! So, a nice little secluded place would be a good thing. Now, I do want to set up, this... Oh, that is orange clay. With night vision, it looks really off-color, but I can't see without night vision, so that's all good. The Sinister Bees, I believe it was. Simmering Cone. Yes, these guys, because they produce the Simmering Comb, which produces phosphor, which is where I get my lava production from for things like Botania and generally just having lava. And Kat has actually started getting into Botania. She's starting to learn about the other mods and stuff like that. So we're going through mana. We're burning through it pretty good. So lava production needs to kick up because I'm running low. All that lava, that 100,000 lava bucket, yeah, I'm running low. But that's okay. We'll just make more. We just need to set the bees back up. So that's one of the things I'm definitely going to be doing. And the other thing then will be experimenting with the rocky bees. But first I need to finish digging this all out. I don't know how deep I'm going to go. I mean, maybe this is deep enough. The dome itself, if I bring up the design for it, let's see, 1, 2. The dome itself has a height of 11 blocks. And Now, granted, it's a dome, so it will go inward, but we're still going to be 11 blocks up, so that this is going to be enough height to put a couple of trees and whatever the bees need. Because I don't know what rocky bees need. I know for the sinister bees, you know, you give them nether wart, they're happy because they're, you know, a nether-based bee, and so that's not a problem. But the rocky bees, and as I breed them, goodness knows, they might want a tree type, so we need height for trees. But this right here, this should be a decent depth. So really then what we need is something to do with the walls, and I'm not wanting them just flat, because, I mean, look at that, like, that's just, eh. But at the same time, it would be kind of neat to have the mesa just kind of still flowing in. Maybe doing the terrain decoration style of coarse dirt, podzol, grass, clay, the boulders and stuff like that, like we have around the house, of which I still haven't decorated the interior of, but I have my reasons for that. And the reasons for that are chisels and bits. And basically, I want to make most of the furniture out of chisels and bits. And as you can see by the slime guys here, hi little slimes, these guys are all chisels and bits. These are me practicing with that mod. And I'll cover that in a later episode. For right now, let's worry about decoration. So if we're going to try and go for a kind of natural greenhouse, but yet mesa greenhouse, where's just my regular grass? That was weird. It wasn't showing up before, but yes, here it is. Like, I know I have a ton of this stuff, so where is it? Doop-a-doo. Ooh, I'm gonna need to craft more coarse dirt. So let's get some gravel. Let's get some cobblestone. And we'll have to pick a tree type to go in there. We're gonna have to pick what color glass we want, what mod we want it from. I'm probably going to want to go with something like Tinker's because it's nice and smooth and relatively borderless. I wonder what clear glass from Environmental Tech looks like. Is it connected texture? It is. Oh. That might be an option. Is it dyeable? It is not. That kind of ruins it. I mean, there's also ALF glass, which produces light. So many choices. So many choices. We'll see. We'll come up with something. There we go. Who needs doors, right? Oh, that was the fireplace I'm hearing. Like, why am I hearing crackling fire? So some of this we were wanting to craft into coarse dirt, which I believe is that. Yes. Go. Which actually I don't know why we have dirt at all, because it'll just get covered in grass. Whatever, I wasn't thinking. So if we want to try and keep the mesa feel, we should probably actually keep this cobblestone ring as like a ring. Like make it out of some kind of stone that stands out from the mesa, just so that for all of the decorations that we do in here, we know that, you know, we're inside a structure, or that this is kind of the dividing line. I don't know. I'm just spouting malarkey by now. Oh, I forgot podzol. That's what I forgot. Yes, I can reach it from here. Perfect. Let me go grab some podzol. So can we get away with... You know, just kind of... I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, we're going to leave it like that, but, you know, a little bit of a haphazard wall shape and... decoration on the ground. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm definitely, like I said, gonna have to use a different block for that. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on this a little bit and possibly get some of the glass laid down, and we'll be right back. And we're back. And as you can see, I'm standing on some glass. The dome is done. Yay! I opted to go with orange because it mixes with the orange sand. And as you can see down there, well, there's stuff in the dome. Waha! Check that out. So last night, since it's now the next day for me, doing the dome, I just kind of, you know, jam out to music, and I ended up jamming out until it was mostly done. So, we just kind of went with the Mesa theme in here, and decided to use hill cherry trees, because their purple leaves matches this, which is actually chiseled nether brick. Now, it's a bit of a bold choice, because it doesn't really go with the orange. I mean, it does, but it's like, it's really bold. But it works with the trees. And they're perfect because the red trunk goes with the nether wart. And I was worried that the nether wart would be like a really sharp contrast to add into the place. But I need it for my sinister drones and, well, bees, so that I can get my phosphor. I did have to set up a couple of tropical, just because Sinister and Rocky do not produce honey. And I need honey to do the bee analyzing stuff, so that, you know, they all stack and they don't sit there and be like, no, we refuse to stack because we're, you know, different, and something, NT, and whatever information that stuff is. So yes, the Rocky bees, I mean, they're not that special by themselves. It's what they can breed into that's special, but I figured I wanted to build up some drones before I really got too heavily into trying to breed them, just so that, if need be, I can keep some on hand, always can go back. And their flower type, actually, because Sinister Bees is netherwort, Tropical is just trees, I think. Or maybe it's ferns? Something in here they like. Because they're working. I can't remember, and all they say is jungle. So it's either the ferns or the trees they like. I don't know. But these guys, they like the ore. So I added in some gold and iron over there and some coal, and they're happy. They're happy little bees. Oh, that one just got pulled out. So it is pretty much all automated already. Ooh, tight quarters. Tight quarters. So they've all got power, and they've all got item input and output. And pretty much how it works is I've got filters saying to only insert those bee types into those hives, just so that I'm not crossbreeding my bees. And so that I don't have to set up multiple processing centers for each type. So they all drain into this guy right here. No. The bees all go to the bee analyzer. And then they go into this buffer chest. So this is where, like, the excess goes, because you can see there's 23 Sinister drones in there. And if I were to put the rocky drones in there, they'll start draining out and go into the hives. This is just so that I don't have the beehives or the bee analyzer filling up, because it has 6 input slots but only 4 output slots. So it tends to clog if you don't have a buffer. And that's fine. I also have a spare tropical princess, because I've found with tropical bees, their queen just vanishes sometimes. Like when I've been automating it, it just disappears. So all their honeycombs go into the centrifuge, just like this rocky comb is doing. And then all of their stuff gets put in here. Except for the honey goes in here, because you need to squeeze the honey to analyze the bees. So as you can see, it's been running, like I said, since last night. Now this isn't bad. Now some of this stuff, these things and the quartz, and the snowballs, I was trading with a villager, because basically I didn't have any honey to kickstart the system. So I traded with a villager to get some honeycombs to kind of get it going. Everything else, though, has been from the bees. So all this phosphor, and again, each of these things is basically worth 1,000 lava, because you mix it, 2 with 1 sand for 2,000 lava. So that right there, that's a lot of lava. This stuff, not so useful. This stuff you can make torches out of, get some sticky resin, that's rubber. Stone dust, some of it's not so useful. But we've got rocky bees. So when I want to, you can breed them into dirty, which then you can go rocky or sandy, or no, clay or sandy, sorry. And from there, it gives clay. It also gives dirty comb, which gives dirt. Then there's slimy, which obviously goes slime. Hardened then does nothing special besides the fact that it can then be bred into obsidian. And obsidian bees obviously can produce obsidian, but then they can be bred into lapis, redstone, metallic lead, or prismarine. Now, I'm not sure why lead is separate, because metallic goes iron, copper, tin, aluminum, gold, lead. So why lead is separate, I don't know. But if you then go back, there we go. You can go through lapis, and I believe, you can breed emerald and lapis to make diamond. And emerald is from redstone and imperial. It's crazy what you can do, but they all produce these names that really should have a better name than that. But they're fragments. You need 9 of them to make 1. And okay, it's not necessarily the most efficient method of gathering those kind of resources, but I think it'll be a cool little task to breed for them, right? It's something to do. It's something to use this space. And I enjoy it. It's kind of fun every now and then to muck around with breeding mechanics. So, yeah. So as you can see from my inventory, I've got an armor stand. Now, in this mod pack, they've got arms. So this guy's got arms. So I figure I got a spare suit of apiarist's armor. So we'll make this guy a beekeeper, and then we got a smoke gun. So he's my beekeeper. Can I take this smoke gun? There we go. So the bee smoker, it actually produces like smoke, it produces smoke. Basically, if you didn't have the apiarist's armor, you could use the smoke gun on wild beehives to calm them down so that you could get close to them. Or I think you can also use it on your own beehives. But again, I don't need it because I've got apiarist's armor on all my dark armor. This stuff actually takes a while to craft because it's all out of this woven silk, which is all out of silky wisps. And those are from silky propolis, which is from jungle bees, and it's just this whole process. But I've, of course, gained quite a lot of it, being that I've got lots of jungle bees. So actually, I need to go back down here. Yeah. So, with that all done, and with a decent amount of time left in the episode, I actually have something I'm going to show you, and of course, the last little step of the project before we call this episode done. Now, back there, behind the elevator, is a room I built completely off camera, and I did it with the help, again, from Leah. Now, she's the one, if you guys recall, who helped me with the ceiling of the Botania room, and she, again, came over to my base, and we just kind of built this room. And that's why I didn't really film it, is because I'm not sure, you know, how other people on the server are comfortable with being in a video. So I just figured, you know what, that's fine. So this is my bit laboratory. So, ta-da! It's basically a nice open room with a bunch of these bit drawers, which are really nice because they're identical to the compacting drawers, but instead of taking something like gold nuggets and automatically compacting it into ingots and blocks, what it's doing is it's taking blocks and also the bits. So if I have like a whole bunch of spare bits after crafting something, I can stick them all in here and pull the full block out. Or if I don't want to chisel down a block, I only need a couple of bits of something, well, I've got plenty of storage, I've got room for more storage. You know, say I need a color, I need a couple of bits, you know, I can just grab a single bit from these storage. I don't need to have a bag full. But it also does allow for you to come along with a bag and, you know, fill up that bag with part of it or deposit your bag back into it. So that's pretty nifty. These things are really useful to have if you're going to be doing chisels and bits. Now, at the same time then, I've got vacuum chests in the floor. So if I actually just toss that out, boop, there it goes. I didn't actually know you could paint these. So if you didn't know you can paint vacuum chests, you can! And that's just pretty awesome. So these two well, there's another one right there. And they cover the whole room, and they just lead here. Just so that, you know, if you're doing a lot of chiseling and your bag overfills, you're not making a huge laggy mess of bits all over the floor. The vacuum hoppers clean up after you. So, you've probably seen this in the corner of the vision. This is one of my projects that I was working on with chisel and bits. This is all chisel and bits. You know how long this thing took me? Not that long, actually. It's pretty cool. It's me practicing with bits. But enough of that. Let's grab 4 white and a black. And we actually want to do something like that. Now, with our chisel, if you don't know how to use this mod, here's a quick rundown. Holding your chisel, I'm not really sure the difference for the types, because you can see there's stone, iron, gold, and diamond. They don't have durability, so I'm assuming that they just have more modes, or can do bigger sections at a time, or something like that. But anyway, you can either hold shift and use your scroll wheel on your mouse to cycle through the functions, or you can hold alt to bring up this pie chart. Now the pie chart has all the options. It also has an undo and a redo button, and those are really, really useful. Especially if you're sitting here and you work and work and work, and then all of a sudden, slip, you hit your floor. Undo. So you can work with, you know, things that snap to a grid, or not. So, you know, here I can go 1 pixel up. If I were to use this one, it snaps. This one does not. So I can kind of just take a cube out, and then I can go undo. You know, drawn region allows me to do in a you know, whatever I want. Boom, boom. And undo does support more than one step. And that is awesome. So the first step we want to take with this hunk of white is actually to cut it down to size. So using draw region, wah, lots of noise, we just cut those 4 blocks down to 1 pixel width. Because that's what I want with them. And we don't need that because that was just so that I could get it 1 block up so that I can work with it better. Now that only filled up about half a 1-bit bag. That's not bad. Did the system grab any? No. So we're good. So now what I want to do with this is I can either take the line tool or the single bit tool. Because a line tool, as you can see, I could do that and pull out the entire section of that 1 block. But going this way, of course, because I've already made it 1 block thick, or 1 pixel thick, it only takes the 1 pixel, so we may as well use a single bit. Now, what I'm wanting to do is kind of frame out what you would consider to be a standard speech bubble. Which really, you know, you just kind of freehand it. You go around. I mean, obviously, it's more than 1 block in size, depending on the amount of speech. Whoop. No. Depending on the amount of speech you want to write in it. That's actually not very good. An alternative to the undo tool is if you grab the bit itself, you can also select all of the same options with the bit itself. Now this will allow you to cut. So long as the chisel is in your inventory, you don't actually have to use the chisel. But it also lets you, with right-click, to place things back, and you can change it so that it places back more at a time. But of course, you know, now it's gone and done that. Well, I don't want that, so of course we're going to keep doing single bits. But rather than doing undo, you can fill in. Oh. What I can also do, if I felt so inclined, is I could grab some of these, and I can take out the white and put in the black. Now, if I were to break this block, it would all be the same block. That's how I made that. That's how I made the slimes. You're pulling out bits and replacing them with different ones, and it maintains its structure. I don't know how this mod works, but it is absolutely amazing. So, to whoever wrote this, great job. This is looking like a really horrid speech bubble, so I'm probably going to fill all of this in, and I think I'm going to do a little bit of off-camera work and try and get a speech bubble that looks good. So we've got ourselves an acceptable speech bubble shape. It's not bad. It's a speech bubble. What do you expect, right? Okay, thank you. Trying to fly there for a second. And basically then, we want to... 5. Needs to be 5. Oh, is that... This is the problem with, you know, speech bubbles. Pixel lettering, not exactly always the easiest. But that looks like an N. And that's what it is. So, being the silly person I am, I figure our little beekeeper, he needs himself something to say. And of course, first thing that pops into my head what do you think I'm writing? If you can guess it from those two words. Yeah. That T looks a little strange, but that's, I think, because it's just, like, really long and not very wide, but I can always fix that if I need to. Ta-da! Check that out. Now, if you've already guessed it, here comes the answer to it. It's going to be not the bees! Except that I don't actually want to write out bees. I figure it'll be kind of cute to do a little pixel art of a bee. So you got to start with his little stinger. And then we just kind of do a little bee shape. Oops. Don't want to do that. And see, then we can knock all this out. Fill it in with yellow. Oh, look at that. We're getting ourselves a bee. Whoops. Oh, well, that'll turn into yellow anyway. Do that. And that for his little eye. Oops. He's blind. He's blind. I took out his eye. He's only got the one of them, and I took it. And it's a little bee. Now he just needs a couple of wings. So we'll go back to the black, and we'll do little wings. And yes, I'm using a template. I do not have the ability to create such things on my own. Look at that, I even screwed it up. I'm following a template and I still can't get it right. Alright, so that's the bee. We'll leave it at that. He's got his one wing. He's got one eye and one wing. What a poor bee. I apparently made it too stubby. I measured it wrong. Let's see. Can I fix that easily enough? We basically need to go out a couple of blocks. Ooh, it'll go right to the edge, but it'll fit. We can do that. Let's give this guy a proper body. We'll give him 2 wings. Means this stripe goes there, and that's actually yellow. Because then we have that stripe there. There we go. Then we gotta take off your wing temporarily. Sorry, buddy. But that has to go right here. So that's how bad I am at pixel art. I can't even follow a template properly without screwing it up. I'm actually going to need white for right there. That, and... Did I do it wrong again? What? Because that's supposed to go there, but it's supposed to line up with the stripe. I'm confused. That's okay. That's okay. I'm easily confused. I am easily confused. Seriously. What am I doing wrong? Now I made him too fat? But I only moved it 1 block over, didn't I? I did. Nah, look at that. I'm just screwing it up left, right, and center. Oi, oi, oi. We're just getting this wrong all over the place. and eating up a ton of video time watching me do it. That's okay. I'll edit out all the derping. No one will know. Ahaha. Go. And then fill all that in with silver. Ta-da! Not the bee! I think it's adorable. So now we've got ourselves our little beekeeper afraid of the bees. Not the bee! He's got his smoke gun at least to protect him. I don't know. I find this really cute. And, I mean, it's the joy of pixel and bits. Like, I wouldn't be able to do this with any other mod. Like, Forge microblocks in pretty much every pack in 1.7 was an awesome mod. And really, at its core, was a basic version of what chisels and bits can now do. It can cut blocks to size. But the thing is that Forge microblocks was like, okay, you can take a block, you can slice it in half. Well, then you can slice that half in half. And then that half in half. Okay, so you can go down to, I think it was an 1/8. Maybe it was a 16th. I don't know. And that's great. You could do cover blocks. You could do this, that, and the other thing. It was great. But pixels and bits, or chisels and bits, not pixels and bits, you can do pixel art on an actual pixel scale, rather than the standard version of Minecraft pixel art, which is every block is a pixel, and it's 60 blocks large. Because I can have a cute little bee in a little dialogue box, and you can read it just fine, and you'll be safe from the bees, little Nicolas Cage wannabe. You look like you could eat a hamburger in there. You're a stick! So, that will about do it for today. We got our bees up and running. Getting lots of goodies from them. The sticky resin and the phosphor is the main thing I'd like. I mean, the quartz is nice, but that was from a different type of cone that I bought from that villager, so that's not going to be a regular thing. But I will be slowly working at breeding these guys to get lapis and redstone and metals, because, I mean, that's just awesome. I don't necessarily need them, but if you have the opportunity, why pass it up, right? So, sitting here next to our fraidy cat of the bees, we will bid you a fond farewell. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Give a like for the Nicolas Cage wannabe stand-in. Not the bee. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you think of the new headset and its audio quality, because for me, definitely, it's a lot easier. I feel a lot more comfortable using a headset than the previous setup I had. I always prefer headsets. And it's a USB headset, so hopefully I could get less interference. Because I've heard that 3.5 millimeter jack can sometimes get, like, electrical interference and stuff like that. I don't know how true that is. I'm not that into audio and stuff like that. So I just go on what I read on the internet, and we all know what you can do with stuff you read on the internet. So yeah, hopefully it's better. Let me know. For right now, that's the end of the episode. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so that you can catch me and maybe this guy on the next episode. Bye-bye!